Welcome to the Sleevy G Show. I'm your host for your host. My name is Gomez, and tonight, as every night, I do have not one but two wonderful special guests. With me today is JMF from X Radio X Podcast. What is going on, guys? First of all, before you do say hi, I gotta point out he is wearing a sleeveless shirt, Danzig sleeveless shirt. I love it because the top of the show is Sleevy G, but we got Sleevy over here. We got second sleeveless shirt in the show today, which is awesome.
Yep, I'm Jace from XradioX. And when Matt reached out to me, he says, "Hey, you want to be on the Sleevy G show?" And I said yes to the sleeveless dress. Let's do this. So for tonight, I'm pretending it's summer because here in mid-Michigan it is not summer, as you know, in Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey is not summer because we got about 9 to 10 inches of snow yesterday and in about 10 hours yesterday.
Ours is coming tonight.
We got hit with that yesterday.
But like I was saying, I was like, I know he's out of Jersey. So, and I know he's sleeveless. So I got my sleeveless Danzig shirt on so I could be New Jersey and sleeveless for you tonight.
And I would just like to say thank you for still including me, even though I don't own any sleeveless shirts.
It's okay. You know what we can do? We can grab the scissors and cut off the shirt for you.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
And then that's Cuban style right there for you.
Sleeveless shirts aren't bought, they're made.
They are made. I remember high school football. I'm like, all right, this shirt doesn't work anymore. Cut off the belly section. There's the football pads. I had long hair. Now I have no hair.
I would like to see the long hair.
You had long hair?
Dude, I had long hair.
Nice.
I didn't have like long hair that's a ponytail hair. I had hair that's afro.
Wow.
Like I look like Don King, the Hispanic version.
That's
man.
I had gel. You know how Paulie D spikes up his hair and uses a ton of spray?
Yeah.
I would use gel and it would be hard as a rock. Like literally, you could just go, hello, hello, McFly.
That's fantastic.
So when high school was, I actually cut the sleeves and I used it as a freaking bandana because that's how much hair I had.
Me too. So when I was in high school, I didn't play football. I was more of a baseball player. I was not really into football. Wasn't my jam. So I would cut the sleeves off my shirt and I would put the sleeves and use my sleeves as a headband also under my hat when it was really hot.
Yes, exactly. Well, I did it because the hair was going into my eyes. That's how bad it was. So I really had to my
sister thought I was so weird because I used to do that. So I would do it even extra around the house just to make her mad.
No. I actually, my high school friends, I think it was my senior year during triple session, they're like, Gomez, the hair's got to go. That's it. I go, no. The hair can't go. That's a piece of me.
This is amazing.
I had the you had the afro, and for a period of time, I had what was affectionately called the skullet.
Oh,
shaved all the way around, but long on top.
No. It was long all the way until football season. One of my friends said, like, Gomez, we're shaving your head. I go, oh, hell no. Someone gave me $40 to do it. I did it. I said, damn, I look actually really jacked and good. So from 1999, I graduated 98, 99. I kept the same haircut, but the goatee grew in from 99 on because I graduated from a Catholic high school.
So did I.
So I had superstitions about shaving the week of a football game.
Sure. Yeah.
Gotcha.
My junior year were 8-0. I'd never shaved on Fridays. I would have a full blown beard. So I'll never forget this. We had a retired nun who became a teacher, and she was a stickler for the rules. And she was, go to the dean, you're shaving the beard. I said, bitch, if we lose, God rest your soul and the lightning bolt strike you in your fat ass.
And then you got whacked with the ruler, didn't you?
Oh, no. She couldn't do that. I got sent to the dean's office. I told him what I said. He goes, you said that? I go, yeah. He goes, well, I can't suspend you. I mean, you got 2 days detention. I'm like, I could live with 2 days detention.
That'll work.
I'm hanging out with you. The dean of discipline was the high school football coach.
Oh, well then.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately we lost. I went back to class and I said, "Damn you to hell."
It was
And
totally
at
her
a
fault.
Catholic school, I'm
In a-
surprised you were allowed to graduate.
Oh, they wanted me out of there. I got left back in grammar school, so it was bad enough I got left back in grammar school in the same school, by the way.
It
So
was her fault, though. It was totally her fault.
she told me to shave. I said,
Yeah.
if we lose
Yeah.
because of you and I have to shave,
Yeah.
I blame the bitch.
Where is she now? I think
You
she
warned
probably
her.
feels bad
She was
about
I
it.
warned.
have no idea if she's alive.
I think she feels bad about it if she
Well,
is.
let me put it this way. When I came back to coach for a couple of years, I never saw her again.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, you did damn her to hell, so maybe she had the express route.
So we know where we actually know where she is.
we know where she
we
is.
kind of do.
So
Sure, but
even though being Catholic on Ash Wednesday, as we're recording this, I kind of feel bad saying all of that.
hold on. Talk about being a good Catholic too.
Oh, he's got his crew. He's got it. He's got it on.
Even though I'm not Italian, I guess I do have the gold chain hanging out. Even though it's connected to my wire over here. But guys, I'm so happy to have you guys on here tonight because we're going to actually do something a little different on my show, even though I do talk about music, but not a lot. But
yeah,
we're going to talk music tonight, music that we grew up on.
Yeah.
For me, it was definitely 80s, 90s in my childhood. 80s was definitely a huge influence in music for me back in the day. Besides Men at Work, Duran Duran, The Cars, Guns N' Roses, Metallica. There's so many to name.
Yeah.
90s. Well, 90s I found rap, and then that's enough said because the 90s became more of the 80s freestyle music and the dance music of the 90s. Plus, the hip hop was so much better, and then pop came along later in the years, and then we, so on and so on.
Right. One of the things I noticed about you when I listen to you on podcasts and you do talk music is that you are like a font of movie soundtrack knowledge.
Oh yeah. Because
do you consider that like a passion of yours, or is it just coincidentally you've seen a lot of movies?
Coincidentally, I've seen a lot of movies. If I did this right there, those are just a little bit of collections of my DVDs.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Now, yeah, that's part of it. Now, if I did this, where the hell is it? Sorry, guys. If I did this, here's about a little over 1,000 movies in here.
Wow. Jeez.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever even seen 1,000 movies in my life.
So you're talking movies dating back from some of the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s into today.
Yeah.
So I am a Brian, and that's what made Playlist Wars so good, I think.
Yeah.
Because Brian had the knowledge of music.
Right.
It took me not till I think it was my either the third or fourth episode with Beastie Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And I went Out for Justice, Steven Seagal, No Sleep to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh shit, we found your niche. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I rolled with it. So my attention to that was doing my research, remembering the movies, remembering the scenes, watching them over a little bit sometimes. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, like, I didn't think about that. And it just became my niche. Grand Theft Auto was a huge part of my whole thing too, because
Yep.
Grand Theft Auto is, first of all, one of my favorite video games to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so excited about Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out next year.
Oh, didn't you run nuns over in Grand Theft Auto? Wasn't that a thing?
Yes, it was, but that was the first one. That was Grand Theft Auto 1.
Okay, I was just making sure. I was just trying to draw. I'm trying to figure out Sleevey here. So I'm like, I think he damned a nun to hell. I think you can run nuns over in that game. So let's see where else we go with this tonight.
Well, I'm a good Catholic boy, ladies and gentlemen. I think I bury in church, and
not many Catholic boys can tell you good stories of nuns. So I'm just saying.
A flying penguin? No, you're never going to get a good story out of that one.
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so like what is the first time, because I love movie soundtracks too. And I think that, there are a lot of different reasons that I am drawn to them. And sometimes, like what I've noticed is sometimes a movie that is subpar can be good because of the soundtrack, because of them, however they get the rights to this music that they've chosen, it can make a not so great movie either really great or at least memorable. And I'm wondering, like, in your experience, when you see movies, like, do you immediately notice when a song plays and you're like, oh yeah, this is, or is it just only afterwards that you're like, well, that movie had a lot of good songs on it?
It takes a little bit twice. So watching the
Yeah.
movie, you know what I mean? You're watching the movie and you're thinking of the song. So like for instance, I'm gonna take Ferris Bueller's Days Off, one of my favorite 80s movies, okay?
Yeah. Good one.
Stealing the Ferrari and that song Beat City
Yeah.
and that guitar. Such a great riff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're hearing the song. And it's kind of funny. You hear the part where they're revving you think you're revving the engine on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually part of the song.
Right. Yeah.
So it's kind of amazing. And it was such a great iconic song. I'm kind of surprised they did not catch on here, but they were a European band though.
Mm-hmm.
But for that scene, for that moment of that movie, it was the best scene ever. Anytime I hear it now on YouTube Music, all I
Mm-hmm.
keep thinking is, damn, I want that Ferrari.
Well, yeah, and there are several scenes in that movie alone that
Mhm.
the music like elevates the scene. I mean,
Oh
when
yeah.
you're thinking of like Yellow, oh yeah, when
Oh
that's
yeah.
playing at different parts of the movie, you're just like, this is so awesome. And when they're at the museum, and I
Yes.
think it's is it
I
Morrissey or who is it that's playing?
I think it's worse. Yes, I believe it is. You know what? I got my phone right here.
I feel terrible because this is like wheelhouse of when I grew up. I think I've seen Ferris
Yep.
Bueller's Day Off in school. They used to wheel in the TV and
Yeah.
the VCR. That's right. I'm that much older than you guys. They used to wheel that into the classroom and play Bueller's Day Off in class to us.
Wait
Like
a
they were
minute.
teasing us.
Where
Yes,
did you go to school?
I went to public school, so
I was
that's
about to say that's got to be a public school thing.
yeah.
Because,
I was about, notice I got a Sasquatch hat on, the Danzig
yes,
shirt, public school. That's where you're going with
I think
this.
it was Please Please Let Me Get What I Want. I think that's the song
I
that was
think that's,
playing.
but I don't know. You guys are talking about all this music from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I'm like, I remember the Ferrari. I
yeah.
remember the part where Cameron loses it.
But
I
it's
remember the
almost,
posters on Ferris's wall, but I don't remember any of the music.
but that's,
Um,
see, and that's interesting because, like, to me, that movie was almost a musical because the songs were like
Morrissey. It was written by Morrissey and John Starr, performed by the Dream Academy.
Dream Academy. Okay, so it was a, but like the music was such a big part of it. Like
Yeah.
when he was on the parade float and singing, like that
Oh, come
was,
on.
it was basically a
Shake It
musical
Up,
at that
Baby.
point. Yeah,
That was
exactly.
That was such a great scene. I wish someone had the balls to do that in real life.
Right. And so many of us watching were like, oh, I wish I had the balls to do that in real life.
I know. I
I
would
wish I had
do
the
it.
balls to do 90% of what he did in that movie
Oh,
in
you know
real
what?
life.
I'm gonna say this. I learned from him growing up.
Yeah.
So I actually have faked out my parents
Right.
to play
You lick your
homesick.
palms.
I did not lick
kids.
my palms. That didn't work. But the temperature, the thermometer on the freaking light, you got to be careful because you can only hold it for a certain amount.
Sure. Yeah.
200 degrees, you should be dead, son.
Yeah. I remember the first time I tried pulling it, my mom goes, 175, you would be on fire. I go, I am. I'm feverish.
Oh, feel me, Mom. Feel this. I'm
She goes,
fire.
yeah, I'll never forget. You know what she ended up doing? Grabbing a bucket of ice and fucking water and threw it on me.
Oh,
She
wow.
goes, cool off. You're going to fucking school.
That's awesome.
So I said, thanks, Mom. Fuck you too.
That's fantastic. But that was a really good one. As far as like soundtracks go, that was early, like that was my childhood. But that was one of those movies that really the soundtrack made that movie so much cooler. Like it took it up a notch over just a regular teen comedy because that music was just it just created this mood, and it was
and that's one of those movies that is iconic to this day. And if they ever reboot it, god damn it, I shoot them.
Yeah, that's not a rebootable movie.
That's not a rebooted movie. Not if Ferris Bueller's playing the principal and doing and then maybe I kind of would say this would be great if he had his son call out sick and he's the principal.
Oh yeah, I could see that. And then they would probably remake those same songs by current artists.
Yeah, look, it worked for Footloose, didn't it?
Yeah, that's true. That's a
never saw the remade version.
It wasn't bad.
It actually was not bad. I will say that. I would agree because it's an upbeat version. You had Blake Shelton singing Footloose, which is, he's got his twang in there, but
sure.
But you know what? It was good to see a reboot of that.
Mhm.
Kevin Bacon, iconic dance scene with the newer actor for this one. He did phenomenal. You
Yeah,
know, he
I agree.
played a Boston guy, but he actually had the accent that worked really well.
Plus, I think if you're trying to sell to younger kids, you've got Kevin Bacon, you've got
Mhm.
Kenny Loggins, and
Yeah.
I love Kenny Loggins, but to try to sell that to younger kids, you almost have to remake those songs to make it accessible
Yes. I mean,
because there's not going to be interested.
no, Kenny Loggins, I will say this, is the king of 80s soundtracks.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
He's
Another,
definitely up there.
yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely is. Again, one of my other favorite movies, Sylvester Stallone, Over the Top.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have
Okay.
headphones on. I can't do
Meet
it.
me halfway.
Yeah, no, I can't do it either. You know,
Across
I'm like the
sky.
truck. I'm like a truck. You know, when I turn my hat, it's like a spark
It's
plug.
like it's like a switch.
It's like a switch. All
Wasn't
I
that
do
the
is,
song? Wasn't that Meet Me Halfway?
Meet Me
Yeah.
Halfway was
Yeah.
one of them, and there was like two other songs. But again, iconic film that songs work perfectly.
Yeah.
And you're gonna laugh at me when I say this one, Short Circuit.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know that. I mean, I saw the movie, but what was
Johnny Five. Who's Johnny?
Oh, who's Johnny? That
Isn't that the
is
Jets?
perfect. Who's Johnny?
Was that the Jets who sang that?
I think so. I don't have
I
all.
think it was the Jets.
I think it was.
Yeah.
But
If
you
only
know,
I had a small computer that was always in my
It
hands
was
to
either the
help me figure
Jets
these
or
things
You
out.
like this?
DeBarge.
Yes.
Yeah. Some sort of
I'm too lazy on this part.
device. Yeah.
You know, my hands are a little sore from snow blowing yesterday. You know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
That's
like,
awful. It was such heavy, wet snow. Like
oh,
it was, you could hold your hand out and pack a snowball just with what fell from the sky.
Yeah,
It was
it was
crazy.
good snowball. I smacked my kids with those.
Kenny Loggins on Top Gun. He had
Top
another
Gun.
one.
Yes, he did. I mean, Kenny Loggins was the king of 80s.
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack.
He had another
he's-
great one on Caddyshack.
Yes, he did. He had a lot. And
What
now-
was his one on Caddyshack? Why am I'm
Oh,
terrible at this
I'm
game.
all right.
Oh, geez, that was in there. God, I
And
feel
then
dumb.
And then the what
Kenny-
you call it?
The
groundhog.
gopher.
Yeah, the gopher dancing like this.
I was just, you know, what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
I still play PlayStation to this day.
Yeah.
Lucky.
And I was watching Caddyshack 1 while playing PGA Tour golf, actually.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a little nutty. Come here, gopher.
So when you sent the thing earlier, I think it was last week or whatever, inviting us to this,
Yeah.
it said, soundtracks and music you grew up on. So as I was sitting at work today preparing, because that's how I
Roll.
prepare for things this last
worry
That's
night.
how
you're
you,
not the
more
only-
importantly, that's how you work.
I was like, yeah, that's how I work too. Is
This
last
is what I
minute.
love about my show. I don't do any work. I just improvise this. So I shoot with the hips. So this is why I think I'm pretty damn good at what I do.
Yeah, and that's I'd like to say that Matt and I do a lot of research, but I'm just gonna say that it doesn't mean we have to do it, so people can think what they want.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about soundtracks today because in my job, there's a lot of times now where I just have to sit and I literally can't talk to anybody. I just sit quietly
With
at
your
my job.
thoughts.
With my thoughts, for better or for worse. And
So that
And it
feels
was-
part.
and I couldn't really think of soundtracks growing up besides maybe like Saturday Night Fever. Now, granted, I'm
Bee
but,
Gees, come on, that's classic
oh,
though.
yeah.
it is. That's
Dude,
one of the
I mean,
biggest ones
Tony
ever.
Manero, John Travolta, with that freaking hair, my hair.
Mhm.
You know,
Dude,
I'm working
his-
my hair all day, and dad tried to hit my hair. You know,
His commercial as Santa Claus over the holidays.
Yes, that was great.
That one Christmas for me. That was
That
that
definitely-
was the commercial.
Especially now that he has no hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I started thinking soundtracks, and it took me to mainly college, like right after I graduated high
Okay.
school, which I graduated in 93. So
Graduated
right
in
about
99.
that time was, I don't want to hear how old you guys were in 93. That's not what we're talking about tonight. I was thinking the soundtracks for Reality Bites and the
Oh,
soundtracks for singles.
Yes.
And I was
Singles.
trying to figure
Yeah.
out what one was better. Now, as a movie, I like Reality Bites better. But as a soundtrack, as I was looking at that, you have it literally sitting on your desk. Of course you do.
He would.
I have to
Singles is better.
I think the single soundtrack wins because I started going through the track listing and it starts off with Wood by Alice in Chains. I'm like, you win right there. Everything else is filler for me.
Movie wise, Reality Bites was better than Singles. That's
my take too.
Yeah, Matt's saying no. But listen, but when you look at when you look at the movie, I felt Reality Bites gave you more of what reality was, where Singles it really didn't. It was more scripted. You know what I mean?
I can agree with that. Yeah, I can agree with that.
And my reality at that time was much closer to Reality Bites than it ever was to Singles.
So, but to be honest with you, soundtrack wise, Singles was totally. It would kill. The single soundtrack should be the Reality Bite soundtrack. Reality Bite soundtrack should be the single soundtrack.
Because then I was thinking and I was reading because there's a lot of things that have came out about Reality Bites because I want to say it's 30th year anniversary or something. It's an anniversary.
Over the top turning 37 years.
Oh my gosh. You might be the only person that knows that.
We're old, gentlemen. We're old.
Sorry, yeah.
But I was thinking, like those soundtracks, like which one of those defines the 90s? Because there's Singles, there's Reality Bites. Then I started thinking, well, you got to throw in the Askewiverse. You got to throw in Kevin Smith stuff.
Yep.
And for Clerks, I mean, Alice in Chains is on 2 of those. Oh, The Crow. See, that might be one where the soundtrack is better than the movie.
No, I thought the movie was...
How dare you?
No.
I dare.
This is the one I will say, when it comes to... They used almost every freaking song on that soundtrack in the movie. That's why I thought the movie was amazing.
I love The Crow.
There was maybe 1 or 2 songs out of that soundtrack that was definitely not in the movie.
I think that's true. And I think when I was a kid, I think I went to see The Crow with my mom, which was a mistake.
Oops.
But I love the movie and I love the soundtrack. I think it was a darker list of songs. Like it wasn't as accessible as like obviously a Ferris Bueller or something like that, but it was kind of the emo version.
But that was a great... I mean, you had Stone Temple Pilots, The Cure. Oh God!
Oh, yeah, the Big Empty was on there. The Big Empty's on there.
Yeah.
9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails. It just
Rage Against the Machine.
Like I said, I think all their songs were in the movies. I think except for 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And that's the only, if I remember correctly. Now, don't quote me, everybody. But
yeah,
besides Beverly Hills Cop, I think that's the only soundtrack and movie that really used it all.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you get a movie and a soundtrack that they play it all together.
Well,
was Beverly Hills Cop, was that just Axel F over and over again?
Well, no, Pointer Sisters.
Oh yeah,
Pointer Sisters.
Neutron Dance, right?
Neutron Dance.
Yeah.
Shakedown, Breakdown.
Oh yeah, again. Bob Seger was in it. I'm from Michigan. I'm going to lose my Michigan card now.
I just lost my card.
That was a good soundtrack. That was a good soundtrack.
Beverly Hills Cop 3. There was nothing on that one. Now I'm looking forward to the new Beverly Hills Axel Foley.
Oh yeah, me too.
They brought back almost the entire original cast.
What?
Really?
How am I missing out on this? I didn't even hear this.
You didn't know that it was coming out?
I don't watch movies hardly at all.
Go watch YouTube.
Did you know there's a Deadpool 3?
Yes, that I did see that.
Yes, I'm so rocking. I cannot wait for Deadpool 3. Yeah, so there is a brand new 4th Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley, it's called, or Axel F. And of course, it does take place in Detroit, Michigan. He does not have the blue Chevy Nova like he does in the previous movies. Okay. He does have, it looks like a truck, but it leads him back to Beverly Hills. Judge Reinhold's back. The guy who played Taggart is back.
Wow.
Bronson Pinchot's back.
Bronson, where'd they dig him up from?
I don't know.
He was available.
I guess.
The guy who always played Axel's friend.
Oh, Reiser?
Reiser. That's not my locker. Now he's the lead head detective. He's like he's inspector. So he's like the major boss. Because I remember one scene he goes, Axel, how many times you get arrested? Once, but the other one did twice, but that one didn't count. So, again, those were great movie soundtracks growing up.
Yeah,
You know,
that was a good one. You raised an interesting point though when you were talking about movies that the songs are either not on the soundtrack or vice versa. Like when you know the movie Pump Up the Volume,
yeah, of
right?
Mhm.
course, great movie. Christian Slater.
It always bugged me that all the songs in that movie weren't on the soundtrack. And it's interesting, like, do you think it was just a rights issue, or do you think that somebody made the decision that people wouldn't be into the original version of Everybody Knows, so we have to just give them the,
The
the
updated
updated
version.
version?
I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Because I think in the 80s, guys were losing money. And maybe because, there was no, you think about it now, the rights to get it on this movie, the rights to
Mhm.
get it on this movie. Matter of fact, I remember talking to Kevin Ballas from Lit. We had him on Playlist Wars. And I asked him, how was it getting your song, Ziploc, on the movie, The Replacements, as the opening theme song?
Yeah.
You got to go through the rights. You got to go through this. You got to go through that. It was a lot of, I was like, holy shit, I'm glad I'm not a songwriter. But I would love to live the lifestyle, though.
And such exposure too, like, and that's the thing that's a bummer, because like I think that it took me a lot. I mean, I had to, and maybe that's a good thing. Now that I'm thinking out loud, maybe it's a good thing that sometimes they give you a taste and then you have to seek out, like I
Well,
had to seek out the original versions of that and find the artist because it wasn't on the soundtrack. And so that kind of took me down a rabbit hole of discovering music, which is one of my favorite things. And Jason and I talk about this endlessly, about music discovery and radio, and how
oh yeah,
radio isn't really doing it that much anymore, but movie soundtracks is another way for you to discover music, which is super cool.
it is. Now the funny thing is that when you're talking about songs in a movie, like one of my favorite movies is because of football was Varsity Blues.
Oh, that is a good
I did
soundtrack.
like that movie a
So
lot.
here's
And a
my
good
this
movie, and a good
and a
movie.
And
very good
it's
movie. So I always said that was like my high school football team, even though we didn't live in Texas, but we did party almost every freaking weekend.
Yeah.
Catholic school boys, Catholic school boys.
Man, my coach is gonna
Yeah.
kill me now. He's probably gonna be listening to this episode. He's like, really, Alex? Yes,
This is what you're
people.
going to tell everybody.
By the way, if anybody didn't realize, I said my first name. Everybody knows
Yeah.
me as Gomez. I do have a first name. It is Alex.
Oh, well, I knew that, but
Yeah, but a lot of people still don't get that.
that's true.
But
Wait, his name isn't Sleevy?
and, people actually on the street do call me Sleevy,
His
and I
parents
don't.
were ahead of their time.
That's fantastic.
But I
One
don't
day our
mind it.
child will grow up and not like sleeves. We will call him Sleevy.
Should have said that to my son, but he's not even going there. I call him something else. But I love that little nerd tugget. But when you're watching Varsity Blues and Thunderstruck comes on
Yeah.
during the first looks, and
Mhm.
you're going, I can't wait to buy the goddamn soundtrack because AC/DC's in there.
Yeah.
And you buy the fucking soundtrack, and guess who's not on there? There's
Yeah.
no AC/DC.
So what's the score there? They were like, you can put us in the movie, but you're not making any money off the song.
Well, pretty much that's what the rights are about.
Yeah.
You can use the
That
song,
stinks.
but then people are flocking to Sam Goody,
Yeah.
to Tower Records,
Mhm.
FYE, whatever freaking record store was available at those times.
Yeah.
I got so excited. I was like, I can't wait. I bought the freaking soundtrack, not realizing it wasn't even on there.
Not cool, man. Not
No.
cool.
So, I mean, that's how I take it. But when you think about Back to the Future, Power of Love,
That's a good one. Yeah.
okay, the main song out of the first movie. And
Mhm.
it's kind of funny that Huey Lewis is like, you guys are just so damn loud. You criticized your
That's
own
true.
song.
That's true.
But
Wait, but he's on the soundtrack, right? Or no?
He's on that
Power of-
soundtrack.
Okay,
Power of
good.
Love is
'Cause
on
that would
there.
be a crime if that was not.
No,
on
but that's a
there.
difference between when you think about the 80s and the 90s. All right, another
Yeah.
great movie. I'll even say this one. I liked Empire Records.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You would think half those songs would be on there.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Mm-mm.
Disappointment.
Yep.
But the song that Renee Zellweger, was it Sugar High, was singing in
Yes.
the movie, it was actually in the soundtrack because the guy Burko was the lead singer of that. I forgot the name of the band. So I'm expecting then Zellweger to be singing that song on the track. And she's not.
Ah. Yeah.
So I'm like, that's what made the song. Zellweger singing, "Night, you Burko, you pothead Chiba loving smoker."
So you brought up Varsity Blues because you said football movie, and it made me think of another football movie that I wonder if you watched, or I'm sure you saw it in the
Probably.
90s.
I'm
Movie
listening.
Angus.
Oh, Angus had a good soundtrack, but I never
too.
saw the movie.
Oh, come on. The Purple Suit?
I did
Movie
not
was
see it.
great.
The movie was great. Now it's hard to find. You can't find it on iTunes.
Really?
Nowhere.
I hadn't really even thought of it until you just brought up Varsity
But
Blues.
that
and I
was
like,
a great movie. That
90s
was
football.
the
Angus,
guy.
that was
His last name was Bethune or Bethune.
yeah, Bethune.
Bethune, that's it. Angus.
I worked with a guy in real life with the last name Bethune.
Oh, wow.
1995, coming to age movie. Patrick Reed Johnson, James Vanderbeek, which is kind of funny.
Yep.
He's the star quarterback on that movie.
Yeah.
And he was second string in Varsity Blues.
Wow.
How the mighty had fallen.
He was typecast.
He was really typecast. That had a great soundtrack too. Actually, Green Day was in it too.
Yeah, but Matt, what made me think of that soundtrack is one of our all-time favorite college radio bands. It had Kung Fu by Ash.
Yes.
JAR was the Green Day song that was on there. Great song. But the song Kung Fu by Ash.
Love that song.
Oh my God.
That song.
That's a jam right there.
Oh my God. It's for $9 on iTunes.
Oh, I smell a purchase happening right now, live on the podcast.
Well, hold on. I got to do a little research before it's going to tell me. It's going to tell me it's going in my movies anywhere, which I got about 200 movies in there. To be more exact, 100. Wait, was that right?
Holy but while Sleevey is buying the soundtrack to Angus as we speak.
No, I'm buying the movie. Forget.
You're buying the movie. Oh, okay.
There you go.
But another one we were talking about soundtracks and might be better than the movie, and this one would be a stretch because I think the soundtrack is equal to the movie. Well, okay. Is the movie Less Than Zero?
No. Less Than Zero. Robert Downey Jr. Not Paul McCartney. Fucking the fuck's his name?
Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah,
Andrew McCarthy. Yes. I was like, I lost you there for a second.
I couldn't remember his name because I just got done watching that movie again.
But really? That movie, the soundtrack. Have you read who's on the soundtrack?
Yeah, the Bangles is one. Danzig's another.
Dirty Black Summer, but he's on there a bunch. Life Fades Away.
Yes.
It's written by, but it's performed by Roy Orbison.
Oh, Roy Orbison.
And it has the, Inagata Devita, performed by Slayer, which is, I know a lot of purists will hate me for this, but I love the Slayer version of Inagata Devita. It's actually so bad, it's awesome.
How long is it? Is it 7?
It's not 16 minutes long like the original.
Okay. It's probably like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Bring the Noise, Public Enemy was on there.
Yeah.
Good one.
And Going Back to Cali.
Love it.
Cali.
Yeah, that is a really good soundtrack.
It is actually. That was.
And the reason I had the soundtrack, which I got cooler as I got older, don't worry, was Poison redoing Rock and Roll All Night.
Oh
yes. Because I love Kiss.
Actually,
and at that age, I loved Poison.
They were like your two favorites.
Yes.
That song was actually during the Christmas party in the beginning of the movie.
Approximately 13 minutes in.
Actually 15 if I remember. But I think that song was being played in the Christmas, and when Andrew McCarthy comes in with his freaking 1960 fucking Corvette, which was beautiful and cherry.
Yeah.
And then I remember hearing Rock and Roll All Night, Party All Night and all that. Nice. So it's kind of funny. That is in the movie.
But I think the biggest song off that soundtrack, I could go check on this little handheld computer, but I'm not going
Bangles.
to. Is Hazy Shade of Winter.
Yeah, Hazy Shade of Winter. Such a good cover.
Listen, the opening riff on that song alone, the opening part of the movie when him flying into LAX and hearing that right off the bat was probably one of the best ones besides Caddyshack. Ferris Bueller.
Great opening songs from movies. Did you realize that album though only sold 500,000 copies?
Really?
It only went gold.
I have to agree the movie was good. I have to agree the movie was good, but the soundtrack may be slightly better than the movie. But I have a movie that I feel like we can all agree was horrible, but the soundtrack was good.
Oh, I was gonna say it before you showed it. Meet
All
the
right,
Needles.
say it. Meet the Deedles.
Meet the Deedles.
Oh gosh.
You're right.
Walker.
Gentlemen.
Walker. That was his Duddy movie.
I own this CD not because I want people to know I've seen this movie, but because the soundtrack is really good and the movie is horrible.
The movie sucked ass.
But it's got so many good and it's of the time. Like, it's very dated, but it's got Mighty Mighty Boss Tones on it.
Yep.
It's got Goldfinger, Cherry Poppin' Daddies, Save Ferris.
I think this soundtrack was before it really took off with these bands.
Yeah, I think a lot of them. It has a band called Homie, but it has Rivers Cuomo from Weezer singing lead.
Oh, wow.
In the band Homie, and it's a really good song called American Girls. If you haven't heard it, I definitely recommend finding it online.
To be honest, I never seen the movie, and I didn't know it had a good soundtrack. So
Gomez, don't see the movie.
Whatever you do, don't watch it.
Do
just
not
listen to the
it.
soundtrack.
Meet the Deedles soundtrack. I'm getting it ready on my Spotify.
I will not tell you what was happening during the movie when the songs played because it doesn't matter. And it will make you like the songs less.
Doesn't matter what the Gomez says.
Yeah, do not watch it, but the soundtrack's good. So
that's
a good one. Yeah. Another one that I don't know. You guys might like this movie. I didn't. I thought it was kind of stupid, but this is another good soundtrack that has an interesting story, and the soundtrack is good.
Yep,
I like the movie.
I saw it. It's weird though.
Listen, I fell in love with.
I'm fairly certain, Matt, I watched that movie with you.
You probably did.
Listen, the only reason I watched that movie was Jordana Brewster, man.
Oh, yeah, right.
Right.
Until she becomes an alien. Oh, spoiler alert to a 30-year-old movie. But she becomes
it's a 30-year-old movie. Hey, but I want to say happy birthday to Police Academy. It's turning 40 in March.
Oh, man.
40 years, the first original Police Academy. And I heard they're rebooting it.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm only 9 years older than Police Academy. Awesome.
Great.
That sounds about right. I think I saw the first Police Academy when I was probably too young to. I should not have seen it. I don't.
When I shouldn't have been watching HBO after 11.
Yeah,
that's when I saw Police Academy.
And the jokes landed in a weird way.
You had Skinamax.
Yeah, but like the faculty soundtrack, for some reason, gathered a super group together just to perform another Brick in the Wall. Do you remember that? They were called Class of '99, but it was Lane Staley, Tom Morello, Stephen Perkins, Martin Noble, and Matt Sorum. Or no, can't read this. Serladick, whoever that is. But I mean, it's like a super group of alternative rockers just for, I think, 2 songs. They just did 2 songs for this soundtrack. They never made an album. It was just for this.
Well, it's like Temple of the Dog.
Well,
or the
Temple of the Dog I like, but again, they were just one off.
Yeah.
But they at least did an album. This was just the single song on a movie soundtrack.
But it was but that was a great movie and a great soundtrack. Yes, the movie was a little weird.
It was weird.
The soundtrack was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of another one was Rocky.
Rocky. Yeah.
Now, Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 being questionable, of course. They did there was one that had songs from all the Rockies in the 1990s. And it was it had the training montage, the song, the war song from the movie Rocky 4. It had Flying High. It had all the Robert Tepper, No Easy Way Out.
Yeah.
Godfather.
What was he chasing
No Easy Way Out.
That was Flying High.
Was it? Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Gonna fly now.
Yeah, that's when he was running. That was part 2. Rocky 2 when he was chasing the chicken.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, aren't we all in some way chasing the chicken, guys?
I killed the chicken over the weekend and had it for wings for Super Bowl.
Nice.
You killed it yourself?
Not really. No.
I was like,
let's just say a chicken died. A chicken died.
You have earned that sleeveless shirt.
No, but I killed other things.
But that's for another podcast.
That's a different podcast. So here's one for you guys. Oh, we're not done talking about Rocky. I'm sorry. I'll save
okay.
this. Go.
So,
Keep going.
I mean, you had Robert Tepper, No Easy Way Out. You had Godfather of Soul with
James
Brown. Oh
Living in
yeah,
America.
living in America.
That's the site before Apollo Creed dies.
Yep.
And rest in peace,
Carl Weathers.
Creed,
Yeah, Carl
We-
Weathers. Yeah.
You know, Chubbs Peterson,
Oh
memorable movie.
Yeah.
You know, Predator, Mandalorian. Dude, Action Jackson was one of my favorite movies with him in that.
Oh yeah.
You want to you talk about a lost album and I don't know. I wouldn't call it a bad movie. I called it a great movie. Barry Gordon's The Last Dragon.
Oh, I love that movie.
Never watched it.
Show enough. I love that movie.
You know what? Hold on. Shut off everything. Go watch the movie.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Last Dragon or Enter the Dragon? What one are we
Last
talking
Dragon.
about?
Barry
Last
Gordon.
Dragon.
Yeah, it has to be Barry Gordon's The Last Dragon.
You are the last dragon.
No, I've never seen it.
Gomez, did you have any idea we would be singing this much on your podcast?
No, definitely. And they're probably going, you guys are horrible singers. Yes, I am, and I'm proud of it.
That's all right.
So is The Last Dragon, is it up there with Jim Cotta?
No, it's way better. So that's another. Okay, so this is a movie. Barry Gordy produced it from from Motown and stuff.
Yes.
I'm
familiar with his other work.
You may have heard of him. But it was made like cinematically, it was made again almost like a musical. Like there were very long scenes of just a cool song playing while something was happening in the background. All the fight scenes were set to cool music. All the epic moments had like a very pronounced, like, this is the moment that you're going to, like, it gave you goosebumps. The songs in that movie are, and again, watching it now, it does feel a little dated. A little.
It does, but still,
it's so good.
I could sit there watching that movie.
Yeah.
And
me
going,
too.
And I could laugh. Ooh, a black man owns a pizza shop.
Yeah. Direct your pizza to Daddy Green's Pizza.
Direct your pizza to Daddy Green's Pizza.
Yep.
What is that? I've never seen it, but it reminds me of McDougal's.
But also the barge is on
similar.
that. Rhythm of the Night was on that one.
DeBarge is on it. Yeah.
Who doesn't love DeBarge?
Well, it's the Rhythm of the Night. We can feel the night.
I'm not singing, you guys. It's not happening.
Oh, you're gonna sing before we.
I can't sing.
Neither can we, but you know.
That never stopped us.
I can't sing worse.
So, Jace, you have to watch it because it's a karate movie. There's lots of karate, and it's
get your whole ass out of here.
It's a great underdog story. It's also a love story,
of course.
And the finale where the protagonist and the antagonist fight. I don't want to spoil it, even though that's like a 40-year-old movie.
It is a 40-year-old movie, but
it's
you know what?
So good. It's amazing. And you are on the edge of your seat when you're watching it. Who's the master?
Kiss my Converse. Kiss my Converse.
Now I feel left out. I feel like I really need to watch this movie.
You have to watch it this week.
How have I not watched this? How now I'm upset with myself.
I think I have it in my basement. I might have to send it to you.
Matter of fact,
well,
hold on.
You only live 12 hours from me, so
wait. Do I have it? I should have this.
He's got to have it.
I got it. Was
at one point I saw it at it was in like a bargain bin, and I was like, "How dare you put this movie in a bargain bin?" And I bought it just
nobody
to
puts
them.
Baby in a corner.
Nobody puts Baby in a bargain bin.
All right, out of my 184 movies, let's see, action. Is it under action? It could be under action.
It was an action movie.
Cobra. Yeah, that's another good movie. Because I'm trying to find it. There it is. There it is, folks.
Yes. Yes. All right. So, Gomez, I need to just hold your phone over into the camera and Jace will watch it.
We'll be back in 2 hours.
We'll be back in 1 hour and 48 minutes. It's turning 40 years old next year.
Oh, wow. I was really close. That was
39
a good guess.
years old. Leroy Green, Tamika. Dude, have you seen him now?
No.
He look, and not to sound in a gay way, he looks
the
incredible.
same. Really?
Incredible. Dude,
That's awesome.
He looks still the same.
Yeah.
You know, little gray hairs here and there, but other than that, he looks amazing still, man. We could do The Last Dragon Part 2.
I would watch that. I would get in line for that.
I would pay to see that movie.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So Jace is watching Last Dragon. That's your homework. What do you guys think of?
Can hardly wait.
That's a great soundtrack.
Great
hands down.
Great soundtrack.
It's definitely a time capsule soundtrack.
That reminds me of my high school senior year, end of the year graduation party.
Yeah.
Kegs were everywhere. We didn't have a band called Love Burger.
But you should have.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity by them. But I'll tell you, that was a great movie and a great soundtrack.
Blink was on it. Blink 182, Third Eye Blind, Smash Mouth, a super awesome Busta Rhymes song called Turn It Up that had
the Knight Rider theme song.
Knight Rider theme going in it. Yep, which was awesome. Missy Elliott was on it.
Hit him with
Parliament, Flashlight, Run DMC. It's Tricky was on that. Matthew Sweet, The Replacements, and Guns N' Roses, Paradise City, just to round off. Amazing soundtrack. That's so movie. It was a moment in time.
It was actually a good movie.
I don't know if it was playing now on TV if I would sit and watch the whole thing, but it was enjoyable. But the soundtrack.
Did you say Smash Mouth? You said Smash Mouth, right?
Yes. Again, Smash Mouth did Can't Get Enough of You, Baby.
So was that a bigger hit for them on a soundtrack, or was All Star? What one was a bigger hit? Probably All Star.
All Star was, I think All Star was the bigger one.
Was All Star on the soundtrack?
Yeah, it was on Shrek, wasn't it?
Oh, no, but that was
Shrek was
that was
I'm a Believer.
I'm a Believer.
Yeah. They did a lot of covers. Smash Mouth did a lot of covers.
But that soundtrack arguably had Third Eye Blind's best song.
Graduate, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a good one. I agree.
Graduate. No, you can't.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace. What's his name from Steven? Is his name Steven from Smash Mouth? He passed away too.
Oh, yeah, yeah, he did. He did.
Man, this is it.
It does have a great song from The Replacements on it. That was Can't Hardly Wait. They have a bunch of good versions on it. They just had a box set come out for The Replacements, and there's a couple good versions of Can't Hardly Wait on there.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yes. Replacements are one of my favorite bands. So,
all right.
Are they really? I did not know that. That's one of the few Jace facts I wasn't aware of.
Yes.
Now, another great movie.
Yeah.
I think I always love this movie, PCU.
PCU with
Jeremy Piven.
Jeremy Piven. Gutter is a tool.
We're not going to protest. That had a great soundtrack to that movie too.
Did that have a lot of hip hop, if I recall, or am I thinking of something different?
You're thinking of something different.
Okay.
Tonight at the pit, everybody gets laid.
This had Jimi Hendrix, Gun
Parliament.
Yes, the Connells, Mudhoney, the Modern Lovers.
Mudhoney.
Yep. Red Cross, Swerve Driver.
Swerve Driver. Why do I know that band? What?
You're the Girl.
I don't remember.
No,
I know I've seen
George
that.
Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic, Electro City, Give Up the Funk, Stomp. These are such great, Stick, Lovell Jones.
And the cool thing about when you have a movie soundtrack, it's a compilation of songs that don't necessarily have to connect thematically in any other way. Like it doesn't have to be all hip hop. It doesn't have to be all like a particular decade. It's just these are the songs that make this movie cool.
Right now, I am actually picturing Jon Favreau's Gutter in the part where he's doing Stomp. Stop. I see my man Jason doing the same thing. I'm picturing him right now doing
that. You're not far off, Gomez.
I can see that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Were you that guy were you the guy who wore the band shirt to the show?
I may have once or twice. Don't be that guy.
But to be fair, he also wore it not to the show. He just wore it a lot. It was.
I only had 5 shirts.
I mean, that movie was such great. You throw 5,000 pounds of meat on a peaceful protest. That was more than 5,000 pounds.
Yeah, David Spade was even in that movie. I forgot about that.
He was
The nerd, the dweeb.
the dweeb, yes. But that was another great soundtrack, that was kind of lost in there.
All right, I got another one, guys.
Oh, say anything.
Dude, that's where I was
Yeah.
gonna go. I was gonna say you can't say you like soundtracks and you like movies if you don't know the song or the scene that
Peter
went
Gabriel.
along with In Your Eyes.
Yeah,
In your
exactly.
eyes.
But that's like what I think is cool.
That's more famous than the song or the movie, honestly.
I agree.
Is that
And
Peter
it's been
Gabriel
picture.
songs.
It's been parodied a lot. I mean, a lot of other mediums have like taken it and done something different with it. I think it was on Goldberg's at least once. It's been because it's iconic. But the soundtrack had Living Color. That was my first exposure to Living Color with Cult of Personality. Love Living Color. Great song. Had Joe Satriani on it. Had Cheap Trick, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
What
Obviously,
did Pepper sing in that one? I forgot.
Taste the Pain.
Okay, Taste the Pain. Okay.
What did Cheap Trick sing in that one? I'm
Cheap Trick's.
I want you to want me.
Was
it? You want it?
Oh, you want it?
It had Depeche Mode on it. Fishbone. Again, The Replacements.
Wow.
And then Freiheit, Keeping the Dream Alive. Great song. That's another great song. I don't think I would have ever discovered Freiheit without this movie, other than the fact that after this movie, it played on every single montage of videos that you would play about like a school, like wrapping up a school year or at the end of a camp or something. There was always little pictures of all the fun you had, and then it was Keeping the Dream Alive playing in the background.
That was her name.
Yeah.
Diane Court. The one that got
Lloyd
away.
Dauber.
I gave her my heart and she gave me a pen.
Lloyd.
I'm into kickboxing. It's a sport of the next generation.
It's when every time I hear Lloyd, I'm thinking the show Entourage. Lloyd.
Another show I've never seen.
You've never seen it? I've seen a couple episodes at least.
I've watched Entourage from season 1 to season 8, even to the bad movie. And I can tell you this, it gets funnier every time I watch it. Because some of the one with Jeremy Piven as Ari Gold, I'm going to tell you this.
He's good.
He made that show. He made the movie.
He's really good.
His one-liners are so grotesque and so funny that I'm not even going to say it on this show.
Probably wise.
But I mean, I even bought his book.
Wow.
So Ari Gold had a book come out a long time ago. And it's funny, I just got for my wife for her birthday the Amazon Audible. And I bought her a couple of books. I'm like, I wonder if this book is in there. I bought it the other day. I'm already on chapter 13 in 2 days. Freaking book is hilarious, just like him.
Really?
He really needs to write another book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was one of those great ones.
So we've been talking about 80s movies, and we've been talking about the iconic In Your Eyes Peter Gabriel moment. I happen to have a CD that they chose that for the cover. It's actually a compilation of remade 80s movie soundtrack songs.
Nice.
Where do you find this stuff?
Where did you find that? Yeah, I was about to say that.
It's really good. It's got some obscure artists, but they're doing like Matthew Sweet's on it.
Okay.
It's got let's see.
That's a great soundtrack.
Dresden Dolls. Frank Black is on it, but they're all doing like a really iconic songs from 80s soundtracks, particularly like high school movie soundtracks, but they cover songs from Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, Fast Times, Weird Science, Pump Up the Volume, Ferris Bueller. It's all like
what about
High School
High?
It doesn't have anything from High School High. Say Anything, Repo Man.
Oh my God.
The Breakfast Club.
High School High was a 90s movie, not an 80s.
It doesn't matter. 80s, 90s.
But it's interesting that there were enough artists who were also impressed or impacted by 80s movie soundtracks that they said, let's compile an 80s movie soundtrack cover album. And here it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
pretty good.
Another great movie is The Goonies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Goonies that's good. And you know what's, now that you bring that up, I have a bone to pick with Cyndi Lauper because I bought her what is it called?
Her greatest hits.
Yeah, but it's called like Seven Deadly Sins or Nine Deadly Sins or something. And it's like her greatest hits CD, but it
Okay.
doesn't have Goonies Are Good Enough on it. And that's one of my favorite Cyndi Lauper songs.
That's probably, well, no, Time After Time was actually really good. I did enjoy that song.
Yeah, I love Time After
That,
Time. Drove All Night is great. She's got a lot of really good music, but the fact that that was
the
left
Goonies
off
are, that
is
was
really
such a
annoying.
great, great movie. I wish they had more to the soundtrack than
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
Rumor has it that Sean Astin and all the crew are trying to make part 2.
I would love that.
I've heard that a couple times. I've read some stories.
But I think Sean Astin's trying to get it written. I think he's writing it. He wants to write it and
Oh,
direct
really?
it.
That's cool.
But I want to know, here's the thing. You bring back Data, you bring back Chunk, you bring back Corey Feldman, you're gonna bring back Brandon,
Yep.
Mikey, and
Yep.
all the girls. Now, here's the thing. They already did the treasure hunt for One Eye Willie. And no, it's not this Willie, everybody. Who can see it on YouTube.
Totally didn't get that joke as a kid.
I did when I saw it when he lifted his patch. Now I understood.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that joke either when I was younger, so don't worry, don't feel left out. But I'm thinking, what can they do in Seattle again? You can't do the doubloon. You can't do that again. You gotta do something more into it. So you already had the movie with Paul Walker, Into the Blue, in the Caribbean. That was a great treasure hunt movie.
Right.
You've done The Last Crusade. You've done The Raiders of the Lost Ark. The Kingdom Skull, which was the worst one. Trying to think of other treasure hunt movies. National Treasure 1 and 2. National Treasure TV show. What can they do? What they already found oil in Alaska, so you can't do Alaska.
Let's write it right now. Here's what happens. It's kind of like the second season of Reacher. Have you seen Reacher?
Yes, I just did. Which I liked.
Someone is offing the Goonies. They live in all parts of the world now. Someone is offing them one at a time. Let's start with Corey Feldman, and they're killing them. And so, what's his name? What was the kid's name? Sean Astin.
Oh, Mikey. That was
Mikey. Thank you. Mikey has to get everyone back together.
Brandon was his brother.
Has to get everyone back together to not only save them from being killed by the Fratellis, who is also
Fratellis, like two of them are dead, I think.
And there's
Mama
also
Fratelli's definitely dead.
There's also a rock band called the Fratellis, which are really good. But so the ancestors of the original Fratellis are killing off the Goonies because they think they have some sort of secret map to another treasure.
Okay.
So they've got to get all the Goonies together, find the treasure before the Fratellis kill them. I just wrote the movie.
There you go. Actually, you know what? And
I would see that.
And Chunk has the map.
So which
Chunk
one of
the map?
I don't want Data to die. I love Data. I love Chunk.
Data won't die. I think Corey Feldman will be the first to die.
It's got to be Corey Feldman, and I'm sorry, Corey Feldman, because actually, Corey Feldman is in one of my favorite 80s movies of all time. You're never gonna guess what it is. No.
Dream a Little Dream.
Dream a Little Dream.
That's sad. That's sad. You don't.
I didn't say Dream a Little Dream 2. Which was garbage.
That was horrible.
There was a second one?
Yes.
Dude, they went that one right to DVD.
It was garbage. But Dream a Little Dream is so there's
only three 80s movies he was in.
That was such a good movie. Good. That was so good. Did you like Dream a Little Dream? Did you like it?
I personally did not. My wife
Be honest.
My wife loved it. My wife loved it.
It was again of a time. It had a great soundtrack, actually. A lot of established artists and some new artists too, but it was it made it almost like a musical. You watched it cinematically unfold with songs that like took you through a scene, that it was beautiful. And for an 80s like silly comedy, it had a lot of depth to it. And I think part of that was the different types of music they used to get through different scenes. And I love Dream a Little Dream. I talk about it all the time, and people make fun of me, but it's a great movie. The soundtrack is great. And
Well,
then
that's
for
it.
some reason, they made a sequel called Dream a Little Dream 2, which was so stupid.
That was
So good it
bad.
went to VHS-C. That's how good
Yeah,
it
I
was.
forgot, not DVD, VHS. Yes, you're right.
It was so bad, but
Well,
that's
'cause
another one.
that's
The
why I said
movie
Stand
Dream a
By Me.
Little Dream had this is how I found out about the movie actually was because of the song Rock On
Yeah.
by Michael Damian. I was
Michael
looking at
Damian.
it, the soundtrack, and I'm like, why did I know it? And it was because of that song. REM was in it, End of the World
Mm.
as We Know It.
Yes.
And I
Even
Feel
Mike
Fine.
Reno of Loverboy had a song in there. Ooh,
What the-
way to
Yes.
go, Mike.
Right.
What
It
the
was
hell did I have?
Whenever There's a Night.
Okay.
Whenever there's a night you need.
I didn't know
love.
that song. That's why I'm not singing.
I will sing all of them for you.
And what's kind of funny is that, if we're talking about Corey Feldman, he's now doing his own thing, which
He
good
sure
for him.
is. Yep.
He's
singing,
doing something.
He's singing and dancing like Michael Jackson.
Yes.
He did a cover of Stand By Me with Jerry O'Connell.
Really?
Yes, not too long ago.
Recently?
Recently.
Hmm.
Has to be the worst cover song I've heard. But it takes me back
And
to
you've probably heard a few.
Listen, Corey, I love you. Stick to your movies. You're not a singer.
He had a huge dance sequence in Dream a Little Dream, and he did dance like Michael Jackson, and I didn't care. He wore a hat like Michael Jackson. He
had
dressed
the
like
jacket,
him.
He had the
danced
glove
like
on the
him.
right hand. Yeah, he did everything like him.
It was very Michael Jackson, but
I'm not even.
I didn't mind.
It's okay.
Tell your wife she's absolutely right.
Isn't that the one where Corey Haim had a broken foot and he had a cane?
His name was Dinger, and he had
Dinger. That's it.
There was
Dinger.
another movie with these two that
Were they both in? They were
License
both
to
in
Drive.
Lost Boys. I just watched Lost Boys the other night.
And
Yes.
yes, License to Drive. I think they
License
were
to
both in that
Drive.
too.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
how the story of the Coreys came above.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Haim and Feldman. Rest in peace, Corey Haim. Took the wrong
Yeah.
one. Took the wrong
Yeah, I
course.
just watched the Lost Boys the other night. I forgot what a
Took
wicked
the
good
wrong
movie that
one.
is.
Listen,
You killed the wrong Corey.
wrong Corey.
Life.
No, well, listen, I would love to see. I do remember Corey Feldman in Stand By Me. He did play that part.
Yeah.
Very well, and I thought that movie was a coming to age. My 7-year-old daughter loves that movie.
That's a good soundtrack too. It
That's
was
another good-
all sort of classic songs, and it was a good soundtrack.
And
I like that one.
that was such a great one, and it's such a great movie. But if you think about it had Jerry O'Connell.
Mm-hmm.
When he was the fat kid, now he's jacked.
Yeah, well,
River
he's banging.
Phoenix.
Well, he's banging Romaine Stamos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rebecca Romaine.
That'll
Mhm.
keep you jacked, all right.
Joaquin, River Phoenix,
River
Joaquin's
Phoenix.
older brother, which
Yep.
you would never thought they were brothers
No, they don't really look at all.
at
like,
all.
Mm-mm.
I mean, talk about totally different realms. Two great, talented actors. Fortunately, one passed away, the other one's still doing good.
Yeah. Mhm.
I think he's incredible in the movie Joker. He did that movie justice. And I
So hold
can't-
on, Sleevey, did they take the right one?
Oh, between the Phoenixes.
Phoenix Brothers. I don't think either of them should. No, I don't think that one should. That should have stayed.
No. Yeah, they both should have stayed. They should both live.
They should have lived. Like Brandon
Yeah.
Lee should have lived. I would have loved to see more movies out of Brandon Lee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
That
true.
Ever since The Crow, in the dumb scene that he was shot in, I still don't
yeah.
believe that
Tragic.
I think someone did it on purpose.
Do you?
I still
Do you
think
think it was a
murder.
conspiracy?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
conspiracy. It's a murder. It's a murder
Yikes.
conspiracy. You don't. Come on. You're telling me you checked every gun.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
only
look what just happened on the was it Rust?
Rust.
Soundstage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're telling me,
Yeah.
come on, guys. Why was there anything even remotely like a live bullet even around?
Yeah, exactly. Why was
Right.
there a bullet in anything? If you're saying you knew there was all blanks, why was there a live clip to begin with?
I'll just
True.
go keep this live clip right here. in
Right.
case.
Just
Let
so
me
you
just-
guys remember what they look like.
Just in case you forgot what these look like, it's right here in the gun that I'm going to
That's the
give
thing.
you.
That's what always pissed me off. I mean, Brandon Lee was literally a legit son of Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
You could
right.
tell.
Mhm.
And it reminds me of another karate movie, American Ninja, with Michael Dudikoff.
Hmm.
I know I've seen it, but I don't remember.
He's a legit ninja who's in the U.S. military, and he fights the good fight, just like Brandon Lee in The Crow. But he was a legit karate champ, just like Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Another legendary karate master.
Right.
And then you have Jean-Claude Van Damme, another karate guy. Now these are guys who actually legitly fight karate in the 80s and made good movies at it.
Yeah.
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport was one of the greats. It was, I swear, it was on in repeat in my grandparents' basement when we were kids. We watched Bloodsport all the time.
And Stan Bush had a hit soundtrack out of that too. Stan Bush had a song in the soundtrack. I didn't know that either until recently.
Wow.
I did not. I'm learning it just now.
Same. I learned it about a couple of weeks ago on YouTube
Nice.
Music.
Yeah.
So, another great cartoon movie, Transformers, the movie in 86.
Yes.
Come on, Stan Bush was all over that one.
You got the touch.
Dun, dun,
You've got the power.
There, I
one
sang
shall
for you.
stand,
Yeah.
one shall fall.
Oh,
Speaking of like those 80s movie, like the Transformers, that cartoon movie was legit. I really, really hope. Have you guys read that they're redoing the Thundercats again?
No. Really?
They're actually redoing it for the 80s version, though. They're not doing what happened in 2000.
I never even watched that one, so that one doesn't exist.
Well, that's good then, because I wouldn't want to watch the newest.
No, they are literally rebooting, but supposedly it's live.
Yes, that's what I read too. I would like to see that one.
It's not cartoon, so you're gonna get a Jack Panthro, which you know who would have been a great Panthro? Michael Duncan.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
He would have made a great Panthro.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, that's a hard one to argue. He would have made a good one.
He would have made a great Panthro. Chitara?
Chitara?
Chitara, I think it's Shakira out of my head.
Played by Shakira.
Played by Shakira.
No. Unfortunately, Shakira's too short. Who would Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Wiley Cat.
Wiley Kit and Wiley Cat, the twins.
The twins. See, if Taylor Lautner was younger. Twins. One's a boy, you know that, right?
Hey, it's 2024.
Yeah.
They can play who they want to play.
Taylor
Mr.
Lautner would
have.
Hey, listen, Taylor Lautner could have pulled that one off.
They could do that like cool trick where they have one person be both of them.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's what they probably would have
done.
But
I want to know, who was the other one? There was one more.
Well, Lionel. Who's going to be?
No, not Lionel.
Is it Tigra?
Tigra. Who would play Tigra? Lionel we saved last because he's the king.
Yeah. Tigra would have to be. Well, you have to figure out who's going to be Mumra too. You got to be the bad guy.
Jack Nicholson.
Really?
Whoa.
That was quick. He's very convinced. That was he went right.
Thinking about
Come on, he would be a perfect mummy.
Yeah, that's true.
It's hard to argue with that when you go logic like that.
When you go logic with Mumra, with him skinny bones and all that, and it would be perfect with the slick hair and the cigarette out of his mouth. I am Mumra.
Yeah, I guess I was going to say Sean Connery, but you don't want to, you don't want that accent for Mumra. That wouldn't work.
Take me right out of it.
So it needs to be somebody like
Rhino.
No, you know what? Why not Hugh Jackman as Mumra, the jacked up version?
Whoa. Huh. I'm still having trouble coming up with a Lionel.
Tiger has to be somebody who's always the great second. Like Lino would have to be. They don't have to have a great personality.
Ryan
they just
Reynolds.
have to. You think so?
Listen,
Ryan Reynolds.
Think about that. Think of Ryan Reynolds.
I could see that as the wisecracking second to Lionel, played by.
I was thinking like Chris Pine or somebody.
Oh God!
Or the dude from Reacher. What about the dude from Reacher?
That jacked up guy? He would be the new Panthro.
Oh yeah.
He would have to be the new Panther. He's tall. He's
too jacked. He's too jacked.
Panther was fucking jacked as hell.
No, I mean too jacked to be Lionel.
Yeah, way too jacked.
Well, tough.
How about Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh,
as Tigra.
Yeah.
What about the dude who plays in the the commercials? I just had his name.
What commercial?
Charles Osgood.
Yes, Charles Osgood. Thank you, Matt. You're very helpful right now. It's It's
Dude in the commercials.
Yeah, the commercial, the only commercial on TV. Never mind. Continue talking. I'll figure it out.
I'm trying to think who would do it.
All right, who plays Snarf?
Oh, all right. No, hold on. Mumra, the jacked up Mumra, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That would be cool.
That works.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's grizzled. Like he would be.
Okay. So, jacked up Mumra, Arnold Schwarzenegger, deathly looking Mumra, Jack Nicholson.
I like
Snarf, Danny DeVito.
Perfect. Perfect.
Danny
that's perfect.
fucking DeVito for Snarf.
Now, wait, would he be in a suit or would it be CGI? I kind of want him to be in a suit.
Dude, he's got the body. He did the penguin. All you gotta do is put a tail on his butt and some hair on his face, like they did in the movie Cats.
He could be Snarf. He could be
who's the lizard guy?
I don't remember his name.
The evil. Oh God, I almost said Slytherin, but that's Harry Potter.
I think you're on the right track, though.
The commercial. I'm still stuck on the commercial. It's the sailor. It smells good. They make armpit stuff.
Oh,
I can't whistle the damn thing. It's the guy. It's Henry. What's the name of that body spray you use or body wash?
Axe.
Old Spice. Thank
Old
you.
Spice. Yeah, the Old Spice guy.
Yeah, the guy who's in here, the funny guy. He could be Tigra. I can't remember his name.
He might not be jacked enough.
All right, so they actually have some people.
Are you telling me they've hired people to play these parts already?
So
what are we doing then?
So Chitara is going to be played by Emilia Cherqui.
Don't know who that is.
Not even a person.
No, it is. It's that hot chick from Entourage who plays E's girlfriend on and off.
I'll be right back, guys.
Short.
Continue your conversation. I'll be right back.
She's short. Okay. Okay. So that's an interesting. No, wait a minute. And you're saying this is live action, or is this going to be
supposed to be a live action?
Wow.
And now they're talking about William Friedle as Lion.
Oh, Will Friedle.
Friedle. That's the guy.
He was Boy Meets World, right?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Someone's smoking some good crack.
This doesn't make any sense.
Kevin Michael Richardson as Panthro.
I don't know that actor.
Neither do I. He's 59 years old.
Okay.
Well,
did you say Michael Richardson as Panthro?
No, Kevin Michael Richardson.
Oh, Kevin. I was like, Kramer?
Michael Richards from Seinfeld. They're really kind of taking it in a different direction.
Slide.
Well, audience, you didn't know.
Slide is the
See, you were close.
Welcome to our podcast that's about 80s cartoons turned into movies.
Welcome to Thundercats Talk.
Welcome to Thundercats
so
Talk.
They're talking about Will Friedle playing Lionel.
That's weird.
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
Great movie, great soundtrack.
I agree. Now, this is somebody who, to try to get us a little back on track, this is
the
somebody
king of
who
segues,
always,
Matt.
he always puts good music in his movies, even the horrible movies. This one's a good one.
You had a horrible movie?
Adam Sandler, he's had a couple less.
If you say Little Nicky, I'm coming through this screen.
Dude, Little Nicky was a great movie.
To protect myself from offending anybody, I'm not going to name the ones that are less than stellar, but 51st States is a great movie.
That was a great movie. That was a lot of fun with the Beach Boys in that song.
And they did some cool stuff. The soundtrack is like, well, it makes sense because it takes place in Hawaii, but it was a very reggae Caribbean.
311 did Amber for that song, didn't they?
311 was in it. They did Love Song. They did
Love Song.
The Cure's Love Song.
The song. That's it.
Wayne Wonder did a cover of Hold Me Now.
Okay.
Seal did Lips Like Sugar. Wyclef Jean did
That's for taking my
Your
roast beef
Love
sandwich.
Ziggy Marley did Drive by the Cars, which he did a pretty good job.
He actually that's a good cover. I actually like that.
But
I didn't know that. I'm going to check that one out.
This album appeals to me for a number of reasons because it's cover songs, but it's also the music really kind of blended seamlessly with the movie.
I always love that one scene when she goes, "That's what she gets for stealing my roast beef sandwich." Freaking walrus barfs all over. That's a memorable scene.
So, guys, I have one from me. I have one last soundtrack that
Okay, what do you got?
Okay.
borderline defines the end of high school, transition over to college for me.
Oh.
Well, not the end of high school. It defined probably the meat of high school. We'll go with that.
Rage Against the Machine.
No, I'm old. I'm older than you, Mr.
Okay.
G.
The Who?
No,
The
not
meat
that.
of high
Okay.
school was your nickname in college, by the way.
No, the Wayne's World soundtrack.
Oh, yes.
That was my wheelhouse. That
Full
soundtrack,
Blitz,
that
yes.
skit, that whole vibe of Wayne's World.
Yes.
That was, yeah.
It's true. Rocking out in the car to Queen.
Yes.
That was
Rock
great.
Bohemian
Candy,
Rhapsody.
Bullet Boys doing Rock Candy, Bohemian Rhapsody.
City.
My uncle had a Pacer. He told me, he
Awesome.
says, you guys didn't know how cool I was. And his Pacer was a Woody too. So
Oh,
That's
nice,
fantastic.
nice. I love it.
the Chili Peppers were in there, which I can't say the name of this song. Sicka
Sicka-Manica-Nico.
Yes,
Sicka-Manica, yes.
what you said.
Whatever he said.
Dreamweaver, Gary Wright. Come on.
Dreamweaver.
Black Sabbath, Tia Carrere. Who didn't love her then?
You know, she still looks good now.
She still looks good. She was in that Joy Coy movie.
What
She
movie?
was.
Joe
Really?
Coy, not
Mm.
Joy Coy. Joe Coy, the comedian. You not familiar?
Mm-mm.
I know who
Go
he is,
check
but
him
I don't
out.
know what movie.
See,
He
I'm out of the
hosted.
loop of something. Look at that. See?
Yeah,
Now you
he
don't get-
hosted the Grammys. I think it was terrible. Don't go by that.
Yeah.
But
Oh, the shitty Grammys this year?
not the Grammys. Was it? It was a movie one. Anyways, he was a host. It was terrible. They didn't write the jokes. He made fun of
Oh,
Taylor
it wasn't
Swift.
Chris Rock getting slapped by Will Smith?
No, that was fantastic. Unfortunately, but yeah. So that's I would say my
Blitz.
last soundtrack about that fits perfectly smack into high school. If you
Let's
ask
do that
any of my
Scoo-
friends that I grew
Let's
up
do that
with,
Scooby Doo ending. As I'm
I
doing
would
it
have
with my
gotten away
bowling
with
chair.
it too if it wasn't for those damn kids.
Uh,
All right, guys. See if you can tell what CD I'm going to lift before I lift it. What soundtrack have we not
Meet
talked
the
about yet?
Deedles. Or we already did that one.
no, we did that. We did Back to the Future.
It's
Breakfast Club.
It's from the 80s.
I've
Breakfast
known
Club.
that for a long time. Yeah, Pretty in Pink. Pretty in Pink.
No.
No,
Um,
I can't. Oh,
Purple
Rain.
Rain. Son of a bitch. I should have known.
Yeah. Great soundtrack. This was basically a musical, right? Wouldn't you say this is like,
That was
I mean,
the
they
movie.
weren't singing in the streets, but they were
The
there,
movie was so.
so much music though.
I'll say the soundtrack was way better than the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. 100%.
Listen, Prince,
100%.
100%.
Prince, rest in peace, buddy. You were horrible as an actor.
Horrible. He got a little better like in the last 10 years. Well, wait, is he been alive? No. When did he?
I know
he
what you
did,
mean. Last 10 years of his life.
Yeah, the last 10 years of his life. He did a couple cameos on TV shows and it was kind of funny.
Okay, but that's cameos, but that's not
Yeah.
movie.
This soundtrack,
The soundtrack was
is
unreal.
practically a greatest hits. Like it's just amazing that there's not a stinker on the whole CD.
One of my favorite songs from him will always be "When Doves Cry."
And oh yeah, that's a great one.
That's one of my favorite all-time favorite songs from him, and it was in that '96 movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Romeo and Juliet. They did the
oh yeah,
the choir
one.
Yes,
That's
the choir
right.
version.
That was good.
It's a great movie.
This soundtrack had "Let's Go Crazy," had the
Darling
beautiful
Nikki.
ones, "Darling Nikki," "When Doves Cry," "I Would Die for You," obviously "Purple Rain," one of my favorite songs of all time. And
One of the best songs.
Jace,
ever.
you're gonna appreciate this. I have to, if you can zoom in on.
Radio.
Yes, you stole it from our old radio station.
Nice.
I remember that. I remember that movie soundtrack. My parents bought the cassette tape and just left it on the counter because we had a big rack of cassette tapes and
Yeah.
a boombox on the counter in the kitchen, and there was always music playing or the radio on. And I remember sticking that in. I only heard one song. I forget what one it was on MTV, but I stuck it in and I listened to the whole soundtrack and I couldn't believe. I was like, my parents are just
Darling
on the
Nikki?
counter. I just listened to Darling Nikki in the kitchen of my house and nobody said anything.
Yeah, Prince didn't
So-
care. He didn't care what he sang
Definitely
about.
not. So definitely before we definitely call it a night, I have two more albums.
Okay.
Two more
Okay.
movies
Okay, good.
before we call it a night.
Yeah.
First one, Forrest Gump.
Yes. That was like that soundtrack. I feel like it was a 2-disc soundtrack.
It was a 2-disc soundtrack because it was a 3-hour movie.
Yeah. Oh
So
man, I used
it
to
goes.
listen to that soundtrack forever.
You have Elvis all the way to the Beatles to every
Yeah.
goddamn good song off that movie.
That movie,
Ugh.
totally not suitable for work memories to that movie.
What does that mean?
I was about to ask the same
I
question.
just want to leave that there. Just let people think about what that
Forrest
could
Gump?
mean. As
What'd you do? Hit a raccoon or something?
What? Okay, so back to the soundtrack. I mean, it was like
you guys
it was
should
like
think about that soundtrack. I'm gonna think about something else.
so the Forrest Gump movie soundtrack was like those albums you could see the commercials for late at night, where it's like Super Gold, whatever, all the
Hi,
hits
I'm Matt,
of whatever.
your Time Life operator, and I'm gonna sell you.
And every time the thing scrolled up, you'd be like, "Oh, that's a great song! Oh, that's a great song!" And that was the Forrest Gump soundtrack.
Yeah.
Every song was good, and it was a time period, but it was a lot of different genres. But they all worked so well together. That soundtrack's a great choice. I love that one.
But I'm gonna pull out a kind of like a parody soundtrack, kind of.
Oh, please say "Fear of a Black Hat."
No.
Okay.
CB4.
It's also no.
CB,
the TV
right.
show.
That was the two
TV
parodies.
show. He was an 80s actor in this movie, in the show, and one of my favorite shows actually to this day. And it, for some reason, I don't know what appealed to me to the goddamn soundtrack. It was probably for like 2 songs, if I remember correctly. But Baywatch soundtrack with David Hasselhoff.
The movie?
The
The TV show.
Not the movie with The Rock in it. The TV show had a legit soundtrack to it.
Really?
It did. And he actually sang the theme song and the closing credits of the show.
David Hasselhoff sang?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Yes. Hold on. I'm going to prove it right here.
I don't know why when you bring up Baywatch, it makes me think of Xena Warrior Princess. And then one of the first viral videos I remember when Lucy Lawless sang the national anthem at the Mighty Ducks game,
yeah.
So
arms went up, top went down.
Yeah.
So
why does that make you think of that?
I don't know.
So this got replaced. God damn it. So
all right, I see it.
oh, I lowered it. Shit. Wait. Not my kids. God damn it.
These are my kids. This is my password. Everybody enjoy.
So
wow.
Jim Jameson sings "I'm Always Here." That's what
on the show.
On the show.
Okay.
By season 2, which is aka reboot of season 1, they changed it to David Hasselhoff singing this song.
Really?
Yes. And there was another song he did. He did actually a couple of them. Lifeline. Jeremy Jackson was in this. Alexander on a soundtrack, on one of the soundtracks.
Huh.
As the teen crush, Jeremy Jackson?
No,
that's
not
Joshua
that
Jackson.
That's Joshua Jackson.
Joshua Jackson. Sorry. Bad with my teen crush.
He was my teen crush too. Don't hear it.
I can't hear it either.
So it's with Laura Branigan and David Hasselhoff, a song called "I Believe."
Really?
Gosh, that's a name I haven't thought of in a long time. Laura Branigan.
Gloria.
I was thinking of I wasn't really, I never liked that song very much. I was thinking about her other one. Was it Self Control?
Oh, you take myself. You take myself.
And it was kind of funny. That song was in Knight Rider too.
Interesting.
Wow. You are a fountain of knowledge.
It's like the world is eating itself.
I mean, I know a lot of things. I'll say it. That's all right.
Yeah.
But when I sit with folks like you, like Matt and you, Gomez, I think I know a lot of stuff about pop culture, and I talk to guys like you, and I'm like, I'm a rookie some days. I'm like, this is amazing what I've learned tonight. And also, before we wrap, I have a question for you about your last episode. I just listened to your last podcast episode that you released.
Okay.
So before we wrap, I have a question for you
Mhm.
because it kind of relates to music, or at least I'm going to make it relate to music. So the guy you had on, I don't remember his name. I apologize. He does the custom sneakers. He
No,
does
Ryan,
the
Next
shoe
Level
guy.
Custom. Yeah,
Right.
Ryan, Next Level Customs.
So
He
how
lives near
does-
me, by the way.
He does? Look
Yeah,
at
he lives
this.
in Harrisburg, right?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
making connections.
Yeah, I know.
But
go
so
ahead, sorry.
in the world of music, I can't take a song and like do something over it and then sell it as my song.
Right.
How does like artists like him,
Ah.
how do they take like Nikes, Adidas, whoever, and they re-customize it and then sell it as their own? Like, how does that work?
He customized my Nikes. So I ordered a pair of Nikes from him.
Okay, so
I
you order them and then he does them?
He
Like,
So
how
you
does that
owned
work?
the Nike first,
Yes,
and
well,
he decorated them for you, basically.
he hooked it up. Yeah. I gave him just like DT with Space Castle with my logo. I
Mhm.
gave him, I said, use your imagination.
Yeah.
Listen to the show, listen to me, think of anything. Here's my logo. Go out. He did it.
Yeah.
When he never showed me the final rendering. I didn't care.
Yeah.
The shoes came in. I was excited. When
Yeah.
I saw it, I was just like, holy shit.
That's
He knocked it
awesome.
out of the park.
So he customized the box and everything?
Well, my original one, no.
Okay.
But when I got my controller, my Sleevey GPS5 controller,
Okay, I got that mixed up then.
he
Okay.
got,
yeah.
he gave me the customized box for that one with my controller in there, which is, it looks exactly like my shoe, which is hot. So, Ryan's a great guy. Actually had, he connected me to a Philly rapper, Namo Bars, who came on the show not too long ago.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
And he's
Yep.
really cool guy, really chill. He does a lot of good stuff. And Ryan is just knocking it out of the park with the Phillies, man. He is doing some great stuff. Matter of fact, we did the unveiling for the controller during Christmas. Brian Stott came on the show while we were live, me and him. He was texting in, and
That's cool.
I'm trying to convince him to come on the show.
Well, now
Yeah.
that we've been on, he'll totally want to.
Well,
do it.
yeah.
Well, you never know. Hey, if he does, I'll be happy.
So Jace, you guys may not know this, but I'm not a lawyer, but I think it's similar to the fact that if you were to buy a blank canvas
Yeah.
at a craft shop and then paint on it, it's okay because it's yours.
It's yours. There's no legal anything. I mean, and on
Yeah.
top of it, it's free advertisement of the company's shoe.
True. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so I think
I was
he's-
just interested in like in a whole copyright thing. Like when it comes to music, they're like, really, you can't do
No,
anything.
but I think with the shoes, like you're buying the product, you're giving him a blank canvas, like the white ones that I had,
Mhm.
and you just let him go to work.
Yeah.
That's all he's buying is the white ones, and then he turns it into art.
That's cool.
Including with cleats. He's done
Yeah, I
some,
was listening to that. He's doing people's cleats and everything, which
yeah.
I see all these ball players. I mean, name the sport. Everybody's got custom cleats now. And I was like, who are they hiring to do this? This is like,
So he is the most reasonable one with pricing.
Yeah.
Okay. You send him what you want, he'll give you a good price.
That's cool.
I've seen custom made shoes go for $500 to almost $5,000, even more.
Jeez.
He's the
Wow.
most reasonable, but
I
he's
won't
also
even pay $5,000 for a guitar.
he's the most trustworthy, most honest person ever. We connected pretty quickly, and we talked to each other a lot. And I said I'd love to come down to Philly one day and record him live and me there with him to kind of do a little live thing for him. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. That would be neat.
It'd be kind of cool. He's done a New York Nick, Brooklyn Net. He's done a lot of the Phillies. I want to say at least 75% of the Phillies. Kruk.
Oh wow.
He's done John Kruk, Michael Schmidt, Bryson Scott. He's got a few more guys. He's just an unbelievable person, though. Just like you guys.
That was a good episode. I listened to that one too. It was a
I
good
appreciate
episode.
it. He's a great guy, and if you guys have Instagram, check him out because you'll see some of his work, and you guys will be shocked. He even does like horror sneakers. He's got like Friday the
See,
13th.
that's the one I'd be interested in, the Friday the 13th, because
Dude, if you have Instagram, check him out. Definitely go connect with him. He'll tell you how much and everything. Just tell him I sent you. You never know. You might get something.
I think jacks it up by $10. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
whoa. I don't think so.
Yeah, we're on Instagram. I'm the one who does our Instagram stuff. That's why it's so terrible. But because I'm not good at social media. Matt does all of our X, Twitter, whatever the hell it's called.
Yes, I know. I kind of figured that.
And yeah, I've bailed on the Twitter thing, but I'm on Instagram. I know because I've liked. There's been a little back and forth there.
Yeah, we gone back and forth together. But Jason, Matt, thank you guys for coming on. It was definitely an honor to have you guys. We could have definitely gone a lot longer. We went almost an hour and a half.
It's been a blast.
But it was so much fun
awesome.
talking to them. We could always come back and revisit 90s, 2000. It doesn't matter. You guys are always welcome back on the show, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
I definitely had a blast with you guys. Before we sign off, let everybody know where they can find you.
All right, Matt, let them know.
Oh, all right. So
we're very great at promotions, if you can't tell.
The best.
Okay, so you can find us on Twitter. We are tweeting, Xing. We are Xing on Twitter at XradioX1. And we are Instagramming at.
I'll tell you in just a second. I'm getting to our Instagram.
On the Insta, we are instantly Instagramming.
We're on. It's like XradioX Pod on Instagram or something like that. I don't remember.
Our podcast is XradioX. We are a music podcast, as you probably realize, because we cannot stop talking about music no matter how hard we try. So
we're on the good pods. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on all of them.
Podchaser.
You said, is that a question or a statement?
It is. It's with an exclamation point. We are, so we would love to have you check out our podcast as well. If you're a fan of music, then that's what we like to talk about.
Definitely, guys, check them out. I can't thank you guys enough to come on tonight. I really appreciate it. Definitely was a blast. Talk about some good music and figuring out actors who belong where on the new Thundercats possible movie. Still waiting to hear about the new Knight Rider movie to this day.
Hashtag new Thundercats.
Hashtag Thundercats. Oh.
With 7 O's.
No comment.
Thanks, Gomez.
Thank you guys again. And as I end this show, check us out everywhere on X or Twitter, aka Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Good Pods, YouTube, everywhere. And that's the end of this show tonight. It's nothing but love, peace, and happiness. Good night, everybody.